All right, everybody, welcome back for another video of the mysteries of blank is the title of this video, and today's video is going to be the mysteries of what is virtual warfare, and I'm going to be talking about what is virtual warfare, some of the things about virtual warfare, get more into detail about that. And we're going to see what we can find out. So without further ado, let's start talking about it. What I wanted to say is something about this. The last video we talked about how the new world of roleplay fighting came into play. So what I was saying was that some of the methods of virtual warfare, I would just say are similar to that which is being used in the new world roleplay type style. So new world is that you must explain all your abilities, explain the process of your abilities, and well, this is what I say about new world. You know, I asked around with the different people and they told me different things, and with my own philosophy, my own theory, this is what I came up, that you have to explain everything about your powers and abilities. You got to explain the processes of your powers and abilities. You got to explain a lot more detail. You know, unlike old world, which is practically the original way of roleplay fighting, but it's called old world now. You don't have to detail every little thing about your weapons, every little thing about the process of your abilities. You just roleplay, and whatever the opponent can see for that moment of time. That's all you have to detail. So if I have a sword on my hip, but I have a jacket covering it, but you can see a small protrusion of the sword. All I have to do is say that, like in my jacket, that you can see a protrusion that looks like a sword, but in reality, you don't really know what it is, because in reality, it's all you see. You see a protrusion. You don't see the whole sword. But in new world, you have to say the whole sword because and we can get into that in another video. But what I want to say is that it's this thing called this new world aspect. It's called interruptions. And interruptions allows you to interrupt your opponent at any moment of time during the roleplay attack or post or whatever. So if my character is say my character is standing there, I draw my sword, I charge up, I rush at you, and then I attack. The concept of interruptions is to say that, look, at this moment of time, say when I draw my sword, my opponent can say that, when you draw your sword, I rush in and attack. Therefore, now I have to react to my opponent's rushing towards me when I draw my sword. So I can either continue my attack, which is, charging or rushing towards my opponent and attacking, and have to face the consequences of him running towards me to attack, or I can say that, when I draw my sword, I see that you do the same thing and rush towards me, and instead of charging and rushing towards you, I get it more defensive and approach you in a more cautious way. I can say that because now the situation has changed or whatever. But the thing that I want to mention is this, that virtual warfare, when it comes down to this concept of interruptions, this is the main basis of virtual warfare, is fighting with a step-by-step process and an action for action turn-based roleplay style. So the concept of interruptions is just a natural thing for virtual warfare. There's no, I don't have to say interruption and this is what happens. I would just roleplay as I normally would. I don't have to state it that it's an interruption, because this is the concept of the system. And I'm gonna tell you this: one time I was fighting someone, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. The same example that I gave happened in a couple of years ago. This is probably like 7-8 years ago, and I attacked. I said that I drew my sword, I rushed towards the person, and I attacked. Whatever, right? He says that while I'm running towards him, he sidesteps, rushes towards me, and attack. And I say, okay, so it's my turn again now. So I say, okay, running towards you, I said that, as I see you sidestep, I slow down. And as I see you rush towards me, I stop and prepare to block an attack. He says, oh, you can't do that. You change your attack or whatever. I'm like, how? Like, it's impossible. Like, how can I have to change my attack, because if I'm running towards you, in reality, if I'm running towards you and you sidestep, your character is no longer there for me to attack you. The target is no longer there. Therefore, I have no choice but to alter my attack and react to your reaction. I have no choice. You can't say that I changed my attack, and, you can't say that because the physics just won't add right. It just won't add right. But I can say this, that, back then, during that time, I wasn't fighting with a D&D rule set or D&D, format, because I have my own way of fighting, and it's the virtual warfare style. The style I use today, the style I teach, the style that a lot of people take concepts from and put it into their own system, and that's what it is. That's the style I use, and I never thought about doing turn for turn in that way, but there are many ways of fighting. There are many ways of role playing. So who am I to say that this is the way to go? The virtual warfare is the true way of fighting. But, from my experience and from what I experienced through fighting people and just experience different role play communities, to me, honestly, virtual warfare just has a better system of role playing. It's logical. It's fair. It covers many grounds of consistency, which we will get to in another video, and that it just has a lot to it that if you really focus on the full system of it, you don't have to break down rule sets. You don't have to break down tiers and stuff like that, because the system is itself. The system makes its own laws. There's no man-made laws to where I say, hey, look, I take this and that, and, you can't teleport because you can't teleport. There's another topic I want to talk about in another video. But, I wanted to really use this video to explain the concept of interruptions, to say that virtual warfare, that the concept of interruptions is the basis of virtual warfare, that it's an action for action, turn for turn. And I want to elaborate more on it. And it's kind of like, for example, say you run towards me and attack. I say that while you running towards me, I put my arm up to block. And your next turn, you would say, while I was running towards him to punch, I seen that he raised his arm to block. Therefore, I know that I have to use another move to attack after I contact with the block. And then it would be my turn again. I would say, seeing that I blocked or whatever, and seeing that he was performing another move, I decided to block that and counter. So it goes back and forth in that format. It doesn't go turn for turn where I say that, I come at you and I attack you with a punch, kick, and an elbow. And if I miss the elbow, I kick you. And if I miss the kick, I trip you and in my turn. And then now I'm the opponent, and I have to be like, well, that's not the way to go. I can explain more about that in another video. But this video was just about the concept of interruptions and how that concept is the basis of virtual warfare. So when I came out and seen people in Kick using the concept of interruptions, I'm like, wow, like this is the exact basis of virtual warfare, but they're using it as a concept, as a some type of perk to use during a role play match. And it's like, it's not a perk. It's a full base concept of role play fighting, but people use it as a perk or a different type of style or whatever. And that's not true. So, we're past the 8-minute mark, and, I'm just going to end the video here, and thanks for watching, and I see everybody in the future. Deuces!